A couple of weeks ago, they had a special on at Sydney Tools, which is just here in Minchinbury, which is sort of on my way through from school on the way home. A drill set, 12 volt Bosch, a drill and a small impact driver, both 12 volt, little batteries that just sort of click up in the handle. They also came with a cordless, kind of like a Dremel tool, Bosch brand. And I'd been looking for them because a few years back I bought some 12 volt Ryobi drills. The reason I was buying 12 volt is because that's all that stage 4 is supposed to be using, like the year 7 and 8 kids. Because an 18 volt cordless drill could grab and twist, break a wrist, injure tendons, all that sort of stuff. I mean, it can do that to a grown man. So for kids, we're only supposed to use a 12 volt drill. I had some old Bosch, the old NiCad battery ones. The NiCad batteries ended up dying, the drills ended up dying. We ended up getting some newer, the Bosch ones that we've got at school now, the 18 volt nickel metal hydride. The Ryobi ones were really good, but we had issues with the chargers because they were connected to the circuit in the next door workshop, even though they were in a storeroom. And so when you would switch off the power at the end of the day, or the end of the lesson, the chargers would switch off. And so the batteries basically developed it's not so much a memory, but, well, it is a bit. They still work, but they're just not as good as they were when they first got them. And the kids love them because they're good fit in the hand. Even the seniors like them. I like them. When I went to try and buy more of them, or more batteries, can't find them anywhere. And I think they got discontinued. So when I saw this one for the Bosch, I thought, awesome. I can leave the impact drivers set up with the driver bits in them, just use the drills for drilling. So far, the kids enjoy them, using them. They normally go in and grab the Ryobi because that's what they're used to seeing. But I've got these ones in there now, and they work really well. Anyway, I bought 2 sets. So 2 drills, 2 impact drivers, and they came with 2 of the Dremels, but the Dremels weren't in stock, and so they had to try and find them. They finally came in. It's been at least 2 weeks. Being that I was off sick, didn't matter to me much. But I've got them now. Try them out tomorrow, maybe. I only had the one class today, which was the 11 construction, building their new toolboxes. Today I did a demo on how to mark out the sides. I had the diagram up on the board, on the whiteboard, but I still demonstrated it through so that they could see what all the numbers meant on my drawing. I've got them again tomorrow, but I've already had some of them say they're involved in a football game, and 2 of them are also involved in a maths enrichment day, and it's got kids from 7 through to 11. I don't think there's any 12s going, and they're out of the school for the day. So I'm not sure how many I'll actually have. It's period 2 in the morning. I didn't talk about it after the class like I normally would, because the end of the class today was basically lunch. School finishes at that time on a Thursday. Homework centre runs from 1:30 until 2:30 for the students who wait around for younger siblings down the primary school. It's held in the computer room next to my staff room. We're on morning walks this week, which means that we're on homework centre. But I've got one of my staff out at his graduation today. One was up relieving deputy because I didn't want to be up there this time, so I said she could have a turn. I wanted to be back on class, being off sick before. One was at a funeral. One was at professional development. One's off on sick leave because he tore a ligament in his knee playing soccer, and now he's off for 4 to 6 weeks after having emergency surgery, which basically left myself and one other staff member in the staff room today. And that other staff member was involved in a program with the Aboriginal students, period 4, so I didn't think that they would get back in time. So I packed up, went back to the staff room, dropped my stuff down, opened up the computer room, let the kids in, sat in there. I have double metalwork tomorrow. 2 weeks ago was when I tested positive for COVID. Missed the double 2 weeks ago, so got it tomorrow. We shall see how things go. I think I've got to practice a few things beforehand, so maybe period 1 I don't have class tomorrow. Might have to go over and fiddle around a bit, work out what I'm doing with one step closer. The stage 5 class today, I'll zoom out a bit. The stage 5 class got this more centered and started stacking up some of my timber. We've still got a fair bit out here to go. I think there's some shorter bits here that could probably just sit in these side racks. These thicker pieces we're going to put down on the bottom, but I still need to bolt it to the concrete. So that's my next step to do. They've given us these taprons. I could see if I've got the right drill bit for that, because then I can get this done rather than worrying about Dynabolts. That's an excellent bit of progress. And once we get more of this cleaned up, it'll be even better. Actually, I've got them Monday, so maybe I will try and get this bolted down this afternoon. As for the other stuff that's happening in this room, we've been working on our garden trowels. I came in earlier and set up the drill press over there to get our holes drilled. My handle holes were not very well punched, so they're not exactly aligned, but I've also got a larger drill bit to do a countersink. So this little countersink just there, and in the base, even though this is very thin, so that we can do riveting, some hand riveting, using the 3mm rod which I've got here, and we just snip small bits. We're not up to that just yet. So I have my first one, which has the main shape cut. I've got these lined up for drilling. Still need to do a bit more filing and shaping for a handle. I want to check for the handle somewhere. But I did start another one so that I can demonstrate the steps as we're going. This was like my practice ahead of time. I have one student who has this done, has the pulse done, and he's just started filing his handle piece. As you can see, tools are still chaotically around the place, but I do have plans to try and set up different toolboxes that are a little bit more clear in the way that they're laid out. Because I was going through my photos on my iPad the other day, and I found a tool caddy box something or other that TAFE had for metalwork in their metalwork bays. It was just a flat block of wood with recesses cut out of it for all the tools to sit in. So I thought if I had those, and I could then color code the tools similar to how we've done with the files, color code the tools to the kit, and rather than having all of these toolboxes in here, I could have the shelves maybe a little bit closer, or some extra shelves. I think I've got some extra shelves around somewhere. But the idea is that you could have, I'm thinking A3 size block. So if I get a piece of A3 paper, I can lay the tools out, take a photo, take that into Illustrator or Inkscape, which is what I like to try and use because of the Adobe issues with licensing. And I might be able to put that into either my laser software to cut out some pieces or learn the CNC to cut out those voids that are needed for the tool. That's a big plan, but that's a plan. How you doing? Cardboard, soft plastic and foam.
Polystyrene. Just round to your left.
Okay, thank you. How you doing?
Hello.
Cardboard, polystyrene and plastic.
Cardboard, polystyrene, yeah. A piece of cardboard, polystyrene ahead of us. Soft plastics is just about into the back here.
Nice.
Chips now.
Just letting you out. Thank you.
Thank you. Just came up because I had, when I was clearing out under the house, laundry, and had loads and loads of cardboard, and then there was other cardboard from boxes of stuff that just basically tidying up. I had stacks of it stacked out the back, plus my soft plastic recycling and a little bit of polystyrene. That's one of the things I like about the tip, that they'll recycle all of that stuff for free. I know that they'll take cardboard and paper through our bins at home, but I don't want to spend the time cutting up big boxes into tiny bits, because then you don't fit much in the bin. Whereas if I just break it up enough to be able to fit into the back of the truck, it's like collect it, bring it up when you're ready. It's been ages since I started that load of that pile. Same with the plastic. But I also had my first look at the reuse shed. And from what I can see, you can drop off stuff that is reusable. Books, crockery, furniture items that are in good condition, some bikes. I noticed they had a list up on the wall for the workers, like, just keep the best things if stuff's been dropped off, like bookshelves, try and limit it to 2. Lounges, keep it to the 2 best ones. They won't take clothing, blankets or towels or any of that sort of stuff. The way they had the books laid out, new arrivals, been here for 2 weeks and then longer. And on the new arrival shelf, it looks like a teacher's just retired, because it was full of primary school syllabuses, activity books, games, literacy activities, all that sort of stuff. All of the K to 6 or the K to 10 syllabuses. Someone's retired and just went, yep, I don't need this anymore. My wife said to me, well, since you're going to go up there, I want to just run into the grocery store and grab the stuff that's in the basket. We normally use Woolies and Coles online and just get it delivered, because it is very convenient. But there's things we need and it's not a lot. So I'm just going to stop in Katoomba thankfully has a Coles and a Woolies. It was meant to be all sunny today, I think, but oh no, it was meant to be cloud and sun. It's cloudy. That afternoon activity took a lot longer than expected. I don't think I left the house till after 12:30. Went to the post office first, got some fruit from our fruit shop, then came up to Katoomba, the tip, across to the shops. The shops were busy. They're usually busy, especially Woolies. A lot of tourists will just come in there because you can walk into the Woolworths from basically the main street of Katoomba. You know, just go up a little pathway and you're there at Woolies, and I think there's an Aldi up there too, and a Coles. So if you live in the area, Coles, Woolies, Big W, Aldi, they're all there. There's a Kmart hub, which is like a very condensed Kmart. But yeah, Woolies was busy. It has been a little while since I've been to this Woolies, but they rearranged it. And I couldn't find half the stuff. It just took me forever to find stuff. And the sun has set. There goes Saturday. Won't say it's been a waste of a day because I got a bit of stuff done at the house in the morning. I did get all of that cardboard and plastic and foam, the polystyrene foam, got rid of all that, which is like step one in trying to clean up a bit. Try and keep on top of it a bit more. Got one set of grocery shopping done. My wife messaged because of the time and she says, I'll just do the Coles online. I went, okay.